My name is Ida Paige, and I am the youngest of 5. My mom comes here to the Neighborhood Service Center. So, all of my family just about volunteer down here because she's here. Um, we are a very close-knit family. We came to Winter Haven in 1967. She's a single parent, and she raised all of us, and she raised us to go to church. So, we're all into the church and everything, and me, I sing. Um, I sing in a choir down in Fort Lauderdale, and I do, commute down there every now and then to sing. Um, I'm a para in Polk County Schools with, self-contained ESC students. Um, I graduated from Polk State now, which was Polk Community College with associates. I did go to Florida State, but I not finished. I came back to work and been working ever since. Um, we came to Winter Haven in 1967. I think I was 6 years old at the time. So we started when they had not segregated the schools yet. So I went to Jewett Primary my first year in school, but I did do kindergarten here, but my first year in school was at Jewett Primary right off of First Street, and Coach Hunter, Maxie Hunter, was my, PE coach. I remember that so well, and my first grade teacher was Miss Peterson. Um, Back then, the teachers really cared for the students and stuff. I remember I was ill and my mom had to work, but Miss Peterson said, "You should just bring her on, don't worry, I'll take care of her," and that really stuck with me, and I was very close to that teacher at the time. Um, then I went on to Garner after they segregated the schools. I went to Garner Elementary from 2 to 5th grade, 2nd to 5th grade, and then Jewett, which is now School of the Arts, up by the graveyard where they're building a new facility at. That was the 6th grade school, and we had to walk. We didn't have a bus because we was too close to the schools, so I walked 2 years to school, which was not bad. Only bad time was it was raining. But, and then I, went on to Winter Haven High, Westwood Middle, where I became a cheerleader there in 9th grade. 10th grade, I didn't cheer. I cheered 2 years for my junior year and my senior year at Winter Haven. Um, and then I went on to Polk and cheered there also. So I was a cheerleader for 6 years. And then I, worked at Grovemont Nursing Home in the kitchen, as a, line prep person. And then I had this knack for cooking. When I was young, I didn't want to play all the time outside. I would come in and ask Mom, "Mom, what you doing? Can I do it? I want to do it." So that's how I started learning how to cook, like, at 8 years old. So, after a while, my mom had to work, the cooking got turned over to me, so I would make the whole meal plus dessert sometimes, along with my sisters. I have 2 sisters also and 2 brothers. And then while at Grovemont, I, went through a cooking competition. I won the state of Florida in 1985 and 1986, and I went to Philadelphia. The first year I went to Miami where we did the competition, and a world-renowned chef was in that nursing home, and he judged, and my meal was a simple meal, which was a meatloaf, green beans, scalloped potatoes, and gingerbread. So, we had to do like a table setting, set the table with a full service, and then, they would judge the meal, and I won with a meatloaf.
That's incredible.
Yes. So they flew us to Philadelphia, and we had a competition there as well. That year, I got 2nd place in Philly. Yes. The next year, I won the state of Florida again over in Brooksville, and, I got 3rd place in Philly with the same thing. Yes. So, that was one of my experiences, as an adult, and then I, just living life with my mom and, with my sisters and brothers like that. And I had a brother that did go to the NFL when they had a strike. So we experienced that and just had fun with one another as a child. And in church, we all is there in the church and serve in the church. I really believe in God. I believe that we can do all things through Him that strengthens us. And my faith is strong in Him. And I have a prayer life. I I intercede for different people. Some people say, just pray for me. I just stop right there and pray for them right then and there. Um, if I feel the presence of the Lord, I just begin to worship and call on Him for strength or whatever that person needs. Mhm. I need thee, oh, I need thee every hour, Lord. I need thee. Oh, bless me right now, my Savior. And I come to thee. If I thy withdrew thyself from thee, oh, where thou shalt I go. I remember that song from as a child. I used to sit with the mothers in the church when my mom would go to work. She would say, okay, I need you to sit down there with the mothers. And I would sit down there with Miss Daniels, Miss Sarah Bird, Miss Doles, Miss Fannie Henry, and they would always take care of me while my mom was at work, or either when she was in the choir stand, because she was singing the choir as well. And she would take all of us to church. We went to Sunday school. I remember Sunday school all the way up to vacation Bible school in the summer. Yeah. So we grew up right there in Winter Haven, right down the street from the church, First Missionary Baptist Church. Because I did quite a few things, working in the food service, the nursing home. One, I used to go out on the floor and the guy was dating his grandmother. She would not eat. And I was going there and say, Laura, appreciate you got to grind up this food. Let's go. Come on, let's eat this food. And I would feed her and she would eat. And she would laugh and say, I didn't want this old stuff. I said, but you got to eat because you got to stay strong. And then the other one that I have when I used to work at Karen Siegel Academy, and that's a school for special needs. And this young man, he's in a wheelchair and he's physically impaired, but he's conscious. He can sit up, and he loves to put his hands in his mouth. So he had drool on his hands, and he always wanted to touch and grab you and stuff like that. But I always, sometimes when I would go out, I was like, "Wagwan boy, what you doing?" And he would just laugh, smile, and every time he would hear my voice, he'd be trying to see where I'm at because they moved me out of the classroom. And when I would come to see him, I would do that to him, and he would just laugh and wanna go with me. He would stretch his hand out. I said, "I gotta go back to class," but he wanted to go, and then sometimes we would be in class, I would be in class with him, and we say, "Oh, we got a runaway chair." He would go and visit the other classes. And I was like, "Where y'all go? What you doing? Come back, boy. You know you don't supposed to be in that classroom. Let's go." And he would just laugh and try to get away. But that's one of the best thing that I took from being at Karen Siegel Academy. And then I worked down in Fort Lauderdale as well with the YMCA. And I would do what you call swim buddies. And that was for the special needs as well. And I would have a child that could not walk, in the water, in the pool, and taking that person around, trying to teach them how to swim and not be afraid of the water, because that was the biggest thing. The leading death in Florida is drowning with kids. And it's not looking out over the pool, it's right in front of you. So if you're looking out over the pool at the other kids and you have a kid right there at the water's edge, they're drowning. You're not looking at that person, but I would get in the pool with my kids. I didn't let them go in the pool alone. I would go in there with them so I could keep an eye on them. And this school year, I worked at Alta Vista Elementary, and we would go out to PE, and the coach was like, I just could not do what you do because I might have all 10 of my kids out there, and I'm constantly counting, watching. Oh, where you at? Oh, okay, there you go. So, I'm constantly watching because you have to keep an eye out for those children because you just never know what might happen with those kids. So now I'm glad we're out for the summer.
Yes.
I hope that the legacy that my elders that I know would continue, because so many times I can talk about the Black because they don't keep the legacy going. If you don't sit down and talk to your children and tell the story, the history, like Miss Vermeil has said, and Mr. Leonard and Miss Williams, Myrtle Williams. Miss Myrtle was my one of the youth leaders in church. She would give us our Easter speeches, our Christmas speech, part of the youth, part of the Sunday school. So that legacy, and it starts at home, really. And I just pray that the young people that have kids now will tell if they had it, and build up our community. Like Mr. Vernis was saying, they swim right out there. We had summer school right here in this building. We had our dances on Saturday nights in this building. And then they built a new one, and that's where they went. But every now and then they would have it here. And I'm so grateful that Jewett uh, have their Christmas gala every year in December to welcome the old back, to reminisce on the band, the school. So I just hope that the legacy continues. Know yourself. Know your own self-worth. Nobody has to build you up. Get an education. Read. So many of our kids, it doesn't matter what culture you're from, they don't like to read. Read. Know things for yourself. Find out things for yourself. If you don't know, ask questions.